And coming for you live from Transylvania in Louisiana, near the coast of the Mississippi River. We are here with the 44th edition of Grand Platypus Open, number 44. Of course, we are Quirky _ no second part, as well as Yaku of the Zaku, observing for us and also doing all of the other heavy lifting. We have Nazdrajnishki Skillet herself, Kuro _ Kuro. How are you doing, Quirky?
I'm doing great. I mean, we're back finally after after, you know, a couple of weeks from AZ Champs and DreamHack. But we're back. Finally.
We are.
And we got a treat for you. Starting off here, Yaku.
Is it a treat or is it a bit of a trick? Because I'm just looking at the races of these players. And one of them is not what I have expected.
Yeah, we have a new player called TvZ. Seems to be new folk. He's GM. He's playing Terran. And, you know, of course, it is Pezz versus MightyKiwi here. And Pezz has decided to play Terran this tournament.
Interestingly enough, we thought we were in for a bit of a treat when we saw MightyKiwi sign up, which we very rarely see. But then we get another curveball thrown into the mix. Pezz? He's had enough. He has had enough of his race, it seems. He wants to cross over to the dank side. And good.
No, you go.
Alrighty then, spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the purple Terran player coming down from the land of M for Melbourne, and also representing M for Mind Freak. Well, none here, but apparently so. We have, no longer the king of alliteration, the purple Terran player, TvZ.
And spawning in the top right, the teal or light blue Protoss. Jeez, wow. Tell it's been a while, Yaku. Also representing Mind Freak and the nation of New Zealand. Give up some fush and chops for MightyKiwi.
Now, you know what it actually was, Quirky? It was, you see the name Pezz, you immediately think, alright, Protoss. But because they said Terran, you had to make up for that.
Yeah. So he needs to switch to teal now. So it can be TvZ, the teal Terran.
Exactly. It's not quite the purple Protoss player Pezz, but it'll do in a pinch. Fortunately, wholemate Dav over here, MightyKiwi, has different ideas. Gonna be grabbing that color for himself.
Yeah. Well, we are opening pretty standard here, you know. Reaper Extend coming in from good old Pezz, and it seems to be Hatch first from MightyKiwi, so no trickery so far. Expecting, you know, because you know when you go start a new race, you sort of like start out a bit cheesy, you know. At least that's what I did when I switched to Terra. I just put 2 racks everywhere.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like you're talking from your own experience there. But yeah, to be honest, I was expecting Pezz to have a little bit of, maybe not something too cheesy, but definitely something non-standard up his sleeve here. Just showing us what he can really do. I have to imagine that mostly he's just been inspired by Seether. Or something along those lines. Now that he's seen that Seether and Hut have successfully escaped from Tarkov, he too has decided to, you know, sort of feel around. Yeah, exactly. Show his skills, what he can do with Man with Gun. But I feel like he does need to take that pilgrimage, though, and become the Man with Gun before he can command the Man with Gun, if that makes sense.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, got to become one with the gun, you know. Hopefully, you know, don't have to take drugs to shoot faster, but, you know, in real life, so...
Yeah, all
That's
you
good
need
for
to
him, I
shoot
guess.
faster is just quick fingers, I think.
Alright.
All right, and this is shaping up to be something that I like a lot. That good old Hellion potentially Liberator build. Yeah, well, actually, no. We swapped around the add-ons over here, so what do we think, Quirky? Banshees or BCs?
No, it's a Liberator.
Wait, what? I thought for sure if that place was...
Bamboozled.
All right, that was a bit of a bamboozlement. Thought for
Yeah,
sure.
you know what? He can,
around.
you know, get rid of that Overlord. You know, that's running around, flying around in his base. You know, get rid of that. Then switch the outs around once that Liberator's out. It's a bit of a delay, but you know, like MightyKiwi's not going to be inspecting it. So, but he is getting stim, so it looks like just going to be a bio here.
Well, you know what? Tezzatary, he is a man of culture going on here. Gonna be going with the classic 6 Hellions, 1 Reaper, 1 Liberator build. One that can be really done with great effect already, incidentally, taking out a creep tumor over there. That's gonna be annoying over there if you're MightyKiwi. Didn't even have to use a scan.
Yeah, and his control seems to be pretty good so far. Again, he has been working with Protoss units for a while now, so should be all good. But 2 Evo Chambers coming in from MightyKiwi. It feels like he may want to go into Lingbane Hydra. Oh, okay, Pezz, I do like this setup, but...
Well, it's
we'll take out the Queen.
It does, so I should take out the Queen. A little bit of a slower reaction.
Oh!
That rally is gonna haunt him for a while, isn't it? Okay, it's not game-ending damage quite yet. It is only 5 drones, but...
Yeah, lost mining time. Lost Queen as well, you know? So...
yeah, not game-ending by any means, but still pretty big for MightyKiwi. The one thing that I've noticed from Pezz is he has not been too aggressive with these Hellions, mostly using them just to clear up the creep on the sort of edge of the maps over there. Nice KD8 bounce, but yeah, so far Pezz playing it out a lot more conservative.
Yeah, and it's going to be that +1 melee and Carapace coming in from MightyKiwi as well, so Baneless and Lair, so it seems to just be Ling Bane as a starter, no other tech added just as yet, so looking to be just dealing with this bio-focused army, which he has got vision of. He is flying an Overlord into the base now. We'll see that, yeah, it is a bio army, so he can stay on this Ling Bane for quite a while.
Yeah, it definitely depends a lot on how MightyKiwi, how confident he's feeling in terms of his defense. I do have to wonder, he's going for the Lair, right? Are we going to see another tech building, or is MightyKiwi just going to go dark style and go straight into Hive off the back of this? It's possible to do when your opponent's going marine tank like this, but it is trickier.
Yeah, it is definitely a bit more trickier. But, you know, it's something that can work, but with these Hellions running around, they can delay, you know, Ling's just running across, you know, trying to deny where the spare base is, and this is his version of, you know, having a medevac out across the map with a couple of Marines.
Oh,
it's working for him, and like he is keeping that creep, you know, relatively on MightyKiwi's side of the map. And there's the tech we were looking for, Yaku. A Spire.
Oh. Yeah, a little bit. Well, I want to call it a bit of a delayed Spire, but this is actually pretty standard timing. It's just nowadays we tend to see the Spires a lot earlier, don't we? But
yeah, I mean, Spires are generally something you need to get your opponent to be taken by surprise, because Pezz has gone for the Spire army, which does counter the mutas quite a bit, and I do love this push actually coming in from Pezz. You know, he's going to be, but he is in that choke point, and the tanks are going to be exposed, and now here comes the surround.
And they do surround just about all of the tanks. If the Banelings had speed, that would have been completely over for Pezz, but he does have a bit of a chance right now to get some damage done. We'll be able to cancel this 4th base, and he's looking to drop right into the main.
Oh my god. To be honest, I'm wondering how long Pezz has been playing Terran for, because he is doing everything, you know, pretty much standard and on time here. So this drop does get a little bit doomed, but he did see the Spire, so he should be now be thinking, oh, mutas on the way here, should probably get some turrets up into my mineral line.
And he definitely has. I like what you mentioned about how long Pezz has been playing Terran for. Really, we don't know, but this is maybe not. This is, as you mentioned, just the standard things to do. Not making too many mistakes here, and I have to. If I had to speculate, I would say the minute he didn't make it into champs, thought, you know what, I'm just gonna have some fun.
I mean, it is. I think it has been confirmed that that was the last dream hack for the year. So we do have a bit of time before the next major tournament, which probably should be, I would say, one more dream hack at the start of the year, and then it would be into IM Katowice for the World Championship. So,
well, yeah, well, we'll find out. Paulo's gonna announce the schedule later on this month. Well, I say later on this month. I mean next month. We're still not over with October yet.
Ooh, drilling claws. Okay, so I like this. What?
Whoa. This one Reaper with 4 health left to it. It's not even being overlooked. There's an Overlord right above it. That's
well, I can't confirm. Pezz is Pezz better than Beyond, because he's kept this Reaper alive for 9.5 minutes this entire game.
Jesus Cristo. Yeah, that is step 1 to going down the path of Beyond. Step 2 is
I mean, it's not multiple
KDA
Reapers, but he's kept.
everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's not multiple Reapers and it's not Rush, so can't really judge the micro too much there. But still, keeping that Reaper alive for so long, and the thing is, it's hidden on the map, in a dark place. So unless you attack move like next to it, probably no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, best thing for it to do right now is just be a spotter,
Alright, let's look at the splits.
Be able to speed them army, and yeah, the splits were looking okay, but a little too delayed there. Not gonna be enough time here. Gets a complete surround, MightyKiwi does, and the tanks are gone. There's only a medevac full of Marines left. Try to kite back, but I fear that this is too much. The wave of Zerg is crashing down, but the kiting is pretty decent. Pezz. All things considered.
Yes, but there's still too many mutas here. That's gonna be a GG.
MightyKiwi gonna be taking game number 1 of this best of 3 series. But again, Pezz played that up pretty close.
He did, yeah. It's just that one engagement, he just didn't have the splits down perfectly, but he did decently alright. It's just that against us, it is pretty tough. Especially when it's just the swarm just coming in and surrounding you.
Yeah, I feel like, especially nowadays, TvZ has really come down to who makes the first mistake and who capitalizes on that mistake hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really do have to play it perfectly for both the Zerg side and the Terran side. That surround setup was absolutely beautiful. Pezz, hasn't been making too many mistakes here, as we mentioned, has been playing it up pretty standard, but I do feel like those positionings with those tanks can take a while to sort of get used to, especially when you're on a new map pool. New map pool, new race. It's like, it's not quite fixed into you.
Yeah.
But we'll see where he has. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, we'd have to see what Pezz wants to do, which map he wants to go for.
I think he's actually just setting up the lobby for us.
Yeah.
As he is wont to do. One thing I will always appreciate about Pezz, not only does he set up his own lobbies, he also remembers to include game heart. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And alright. What does he want? What is he picking?
I can't join his game because I don't have him as a friend. Let's find out. It is gonna be Submarino LE.
Oh, he put it in the wrong chat.
Oh, ouch. And
I can hear still just yelling about something about the Blizz UI. All right, we all good to go.
indeed we are. And again, Submarine, a bit of an interesting map pick here for a TvZ. But again, I'm thinking Pezz probably has something planned. You mentioned it earlier, when a player switches to a different race, they're not going to be playing it, stock standard. You gotta imagine Pezz has something up his sleeve this time.
Proxy 2 racks, I reckon. Or Proxy 4 racks, I mean. But I guess we'll have to see, as we are getting into Submarine.
That kind of rhymes. And on the LE Submarine, the LE Submarine, the LE Submarine of which we all reside in, we are going to be spawning in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way to bottom right-hand. We have the purple Terran player coming down representing M for Mind Freak, as well as M for Melbourne. Everybody give up a big hand to Tez Ateri.
And we have spawning here up in the top left, the light blue Zerg, representing Mind Freaks and the nation of New Zealand. He's as battle-hardened as an Urukai, quick as an elf, stoutsy as a dwarf, but we know him as MightyKiwi.
Old mate Dav. And I'm gonna need a little bit of a quick refresher here, Quirky, as I'm not as familiar with the New Zealand players as I am with the Australian players, but there was a time, wasn't there, where MightyKiwi, they called him Captain Kiwi, and Crimson, of course, was his Falcon.
Yeah, was his sidekick, and there were a couple of others, but they have long since left us. Not from the small core, just the game.
And now we look on to Utah, like Jet.
Yeah. Well, no pressure on Jet, but
no pressure.
Pretty big shoes to fill.
Yeah, Captain Kiwi has left, Falcon has gone, so no pressure. But yeah, you will have to put on the suit. But yeah, our expectations so far of this game, or at least my expectations, have been pretty dashed. Pezz still playing it out standard, and MightyKiwi looking to reciprocate.
Yeah, well, Pezz sending that Reaper out, gonna spot what you can try and see, but looks to be just pretty standard. Quick third base being taken here by MightyKiwi, but he's gonna be waiting a while. I think he just did it early just to avoid the Reaper, because that Reaper's not gonna spot, doesn't see the drone go heading out, and that's the third taken.
Yeah, and with that, Pezz, he's got to be thinking, we're on Submarine, I don't see the third base yet, I haven't scouted the third base, but, I haven't seen it yet. I've got to be on my shoes. On my shoes? No, on my edge a little bit.
On
my toes, that's the one. Shoes are on my mind.
Reaper did get taken out. Pezz did not see that third, or the main at all, for that matter, so it is going to be quite interesting to see what his game plan is next, but it just seems to be pretty standard opening, the 1-1-1. Now, whether he wants to go for, maybe that, maybe the Banshee or the BCs, that's definitely going to be the question, as the Overlord is in position to go for a scout pretty soon.
Well, it's possible, but I would consider Pezz to be a man of culture, and I wouldn't expect Liberator coming out. Interestingly enough, he has not gotten an add-on on that barracks. So while he is still trying to play out what he did in the previous game with the medevac dropping.
It's a Hellion drop.
And this is what we like to see.
Yeah, he needs to make sure he hides that. Alright, well, the Overlord's getting chased away. There is Overlord speed.
There is, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to, catch up to this Overlord and prevent things from coming down. The armory going to be finishing up behind us.
Oh. Okay, it's a Hellbat drop.
Yeah, Hellbat drop coming down. This I've got to say. Okay, this is not quite the Piotr build. I'm just looking at it. He is filling up Marines, but...
Yeah, no, okay, so he's just doing a timing push. Usually you want to get a couple of Marauders here, you know, it helps tank up for the Queens. Oh no. Oh, he needs to be careful not to lose a Hellion here. Alright, how long on that Armory? The Armory's almost finished.
In literally about 1 second, finishing up over here. And these Hellbats are starting to morph. They can get healed up as they do get benefit from that medevac. So they have a bit more staying power, but this is not the best position to be in, Pezz, as the Hellions or the Hellbats do get surrounded. Try to juggle here with the Marines, and all of the Zerglings do get evaporated.
Yeah, the Queens are going low, no energy.
Yeah, very, very low energy, and there were a couple of Hellions coming in to sort of reinforce this, but more and more Lynx coming in.
Oh.
Target firing looking fan-frickin-tastic from MightyKiwi. And with that, Pezz, he had such a good idea, but it's kind of falling on its face. MightyKiwi is just looking to write this counterattack to the victory.
Yeah, he's going to beam bust that front there. But, you know what? If Pezz can somehow draw the army back here, he needs to be careful, because I don't think that wall's a wall, even with the CC in there.
Yeah, you do have to be very... No, with the second...
That is the wall. GG is called.
And there we have it. MightyKiwi gonna be taking it. GG.
GG is called. Oof.
Yeah, an interesting performance we've seen here from Pezz, switching things up, you know, off racing, but yeah, we were pretty hyped for MightyKiwi for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, MightyKiwi, because of, I mean, maybe if, like, Pezz had gone up against somebody else, maybe, but, you know, he does seem alright, you know, with the Terrans, just, you know, the couple of things that need to be cleared up, or need to be worked on, but other than that, it's, like, really, you know, pretty decent for, like, somebody's first timing Terran, it seems like.
It definitely was. I mean, again, not that many mistakes being made. He definitely had an understanding of what he had to do, and he was able to sort of fulfill that checklist. It was just, you know, during the heat of the moment, during these engagements, he's doesn't seem to be quite used to these, you know, these engagements and how to control his army during those. Really does take a lot of repetition and muscle memory.
Yeah, it does. But we do have...
honestly...
Yeah, sorry. No, go.
I was just going to say, I feel like if Pezz played Protoss, would have been able to take that. We've mentioned it many, many times before. Pezz is pretty much the top PvZ player in ANZ. So I honestly really think that he would have been able to take that if he stuck to his main race. But, you know, Pezz just trying to have some fun here. And we really cannot blame him for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like we said before, he did look great. Unfortunately, you know, that you know, going up against MightyKiwi, who honestly his CVT is like one of the best. I would say one of the best in the region. But you know, it's just unfortunate that that's just the way the bracket fell.
Yeah, good old seeding.
God damn lie. Didn't press the random button enough. Oh man, you guys should have seen the bracket. Well, boy, he switched it around. Oh my god, that bottom half was stacked.
When we had all of the ANZ champs players in the bottom half and everybody else in the top half, it's like, well.
Oh, okay, it's been 1 week he switched.
Oh, interesting.